Hi, it's Miranda. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have this super basic, easy, everyday makeup tutorial for you. My sister asked me to do something for every day, so this is something you could easily wear to work or to school if you're still in school. And I happened to pick up a couple of the eyeshadows from the MAC Selena collection and they work perfectly with this look. They are still available online if you live in Canada, and I think that they're in a couple of the stores. So if you like these shadows, definitely go out and get them. But I also gave some dupes in case you don't want to go get them, or you can dupe these with kind of anything you want. But I used the, oh man, it's in Spanish, No Me Queda Más. Sorry, I can't speak any Spanish. Anyways, it's this brown color in my crease. And it looks like this. And then all over the lid, I like just kind of, this one's called Missing My Baby, thankfully in English, so I can pronounce that one. And it's just a really nice light pink color just above there. I duped these ones with MAC Malt and MAC Soft Brown. So if you have those colors or you don't want to get the limited edition ones, those ones are really easy to get and you can get them in the pan and they're only $8. Or you can dupe them with any other neutral colors that you have. So if you like this look, keep watching to see how I did it. So to start, I'm going to use Benefit's Porefession just in my chin and nose area. Priming your face is so important when you're doing an everyday makeup look because you still want your skin to look really good, and also typically for an everyday look it means that you're going to work or to school or somewhere where you're probably going to have your makeup on for 10 hours plus. So priming it will make it last long all day, so it is really important to use a long-lasting primer. Then I'm going to use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I use the green one because I tend to have a little bit of red on my cheek area, and this is a very slight hint of green. I know it's super green looking, but it actually only puts like a very slight tint of green on your face. So if you just use a little bit and blend it in, then it will neutralize that red, and this is a really long-lasting primer. Then I'm going to use PaintPot to prime my eyelids. I always like to wear eyeshadow, so even when I'm doing an everyday look, I still wear eyeshadow. So you really want to make sure to prime your eyelids because you are going to be wearing the eyeshadow for several hours. You want to make sure that you don't get any creasing or lines in your eyeshadow because you're wearing it all day. Then I'm going to start with Kid eyeshadow from MAC. I still always use a transition color to start with. If you don't care about this, you can easily skip this step. It is definitely an extra step. I think it makes your eyeshadows blend a lot better, but it is an unnecessary step if you're just going for a super quick look. So I'm just taking Kid on a 224 brush from MAC and I'm just blending it out the way I always do, nice and sloppy, little circles on the outer corner, and then bringing it in so that my eyeshadows blend really nicely and smoothly. But again, you can easily skip this step. Then I'm going to go in with No Me Queda Más. Oh, so bad at Spanish. Or you could use this very similar looking color of soft brown if you didn't have this limited edition one. Again, going in on a MAC 224 brush and just putting it in nice and sloppy, so that's why you could easily skip the Kid. I'm just putting them basically exactly on top of each other. I just think that it makes it blend a little bit nicer if you have two eyeshadows, but totally easy to skip. For the lid color, I'm going to use Missing My Baby, and if you don't have this limited edition one, you can use this very similar color Malt, or you could also use Yogurt, also by MAC. And I'm putting this one on a 239 brush from MAC. I like this goat-haired brush for this because I don't want a super heavy color anywhere, so just nice and light, and I like that this basically looks like my eyelid color, but just a little bit nicer. And then I'm going to just go back in with that brush again and blend it out, and then again with a little bit more of that Spanish eyeshadow just to blend everything together. And then that is actually all we're going to do for eyeshadows on the eyes. Then I'm going to use Brown Down from MAC. Use any dark brown eyeshadow you have, and I'm just going to take this on a 212 eyeliner brush. And all I'm doing is I dip it in there and then I just place it down and wiggle it. And I didn't put this in fast so you can see actually how I do it. I never drag it along my eye. You just place it down, kind of stamp it, and then wiggle it. And it's a really easy way to get a super thin line of eyeliner. I always like to have a little bit of a line, but if I'm doing a super neutral eye look, I don't want there to be too much. If you like a bit of a heavier liner look, then you could definitely go in with a black, or you could also use, gel liner, or the other option is I sometimes use a pencil. I usually use brown eyeliner when I'm using a neutral look like this. Then I'm coating my lashes in Maybelline's Colossal Volume and also Lash Stiletto with no fake lashes. Definitely want to get 2 mascaras in there. Then I'm going to use the Prolongwear foundation from MAC. Again, for an everyday makeup look, I want to have a super long lasting foundation. I pretty much never switch up my foundation because this is just my favorite one, but if I was going to switch it up, this would always be my day-to-day one, because when I come home from work, I still look like my foundation is perfect. And this one I just find has really long lasting power, and so when I'm not wearing too much makeup, I want to make sure that my skin still looks really nice and flawless and that my makeup is going to last all day. I'm using a Sigma F80 Kabuki brush just to blend it out. I'm doing my foundation the same way I always do it. I used a little bit less foundation, but then I actually went back in because it's the winter time, so my skin is really dry, that I'm moisturizing it a lot more with a heavier moisturizer. So I was having a little bit of a breakout on my chin. So I'm just going to add a little bit of extra foundation onto my chin and just under my nose area, and then I'm just going through and I'm just kind of patting it on because I don't want to spread it out. I actually do want to build up a little bit of coverage there. This brush will make it so it doesn't actually end up looking cakey, but does build up a bit. Then I'm going to use my beauty blender. This is it before. If you can see, it's kind of smaller, and then after you put it in the water, it's quite a bit bigger. So make sure to get it nice and damp so that it blends nicely. Then I'm going to use the Prolongwear Concealer in the color NW15. As always, I still like to conceal my eyes and the inner corner because I'm pale. I do have darker circles under my eyes, and on the inside I can get a bit blue there, so I do like to make sure that's all concealed up. This is a step that I never skip no matter how much makeup I'm wearing. If you don't have dark circles, you don't really have to worry about concealer, so you could easily skip this step. So I'm just pouncing it with my beauty blender to make sure that everything is nice and blended out, and that I don't have any harsh lines of the concealer because it is a little bit lighter than my foundation color. And then this next step you can definitely skip, but I always like my skin to look highlighted, so I'm just going to take that liquid Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, tap it on the tops of my cheekbones, and then blend it out with my beauty blender, just pouncing that all over my face. I like my skin to look dewy, so I always still do a highlight. When I'm going for a neutral look, I'm actually not going to use a powder highlight. I just use a liquid highlight so that it looks more natural, but I do still have a highlight. Then I'm going to set my under eye concealer and that highlight with the MAC Prep and Prime Translucent Powder, and I'm just using a Sigma E10, I think, tapered highlighting brush, and I'm just dabbing that on all underneath my eyes and over the highlight so that that is going to be set in place and isn't going to move, and then just blending it out. Even though it's translucent, I like to make sure that it's nice and blended so that there aren't any lines of powder anywhere. Then I'm going to go in with the MAC Mineralize Skinfinish in the color Light on a MAC 184 brush. Again, that powder does have a little bit more moisture in it. It's a little bit more hydrating, so it is a good powder for in the winter time when your skin's a little bit more dry. Then I'm taking my earrings out because I was blending too hard and I kept knocking them. So just a nice light layer. I look like I do it forever, but I'm really just spreading it all around and not actually adding any extra powder. Then I'm going to use the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in the color Medium Dark on just a big fluffy brush. Just to give a little bit more color to my skin. I'm adding a little bit on the top of my forehead and then a bit as a contour. If you want to have a super natural looking contour or bronze, the best way to do it is to find the powder you're already using. Just get it a couple of shades darker and then use that, because there won't be any sparkle or anything like that in it. It's the exact same powder, so it matches, and so you're just adding a little bit of warmth to your face, especially because I'm so pale, but you could easily skip this step if you don't care about that. Then I'm going to use the Becca blush in the color Sweetpea on a MAC 129 brush, and I'm just going to put that at the tops of my cheekbones, just kind of near the back. Again, I never like it on the apples of my cheeks. You definitely cannot skip this step. If you use foundation, you have to either use blush or bronzer to add some dimension and color back to your face. And then I'm going to do my brows. I definitely never change up the way I do my brows. I pretty much always fill them in exactly the same way. So just brushing everything out with a spoolie and then grabbing my MAC Fling brow pencil and just kind of drawing them on with little short strokes, always going in the same direction, just to making the tail a little bit thinner and then a little filling everything in so that they do look nice and full. I really need to get my brows done. This camera is picking it up a lot better. I got some lights for Christmas and I can definitely see my imperfections a lot better this time. So just brushing them out again after I add the color so that there's no harsh lines. And then I'm going to go in with MAC Omega powder, eyeshadow powder on this Anastasia Beverly Hills E15 brush, maybe just 15 brush, and just filling it in the front as always, drawing a line along the bottom and then just kind of rubbing everything in the front so it's not super harsh, and then again brushing it out with a spoolie to make sure that there aren't any harsh lines. And then as always, I'm definitely going to make sure to set them today with my MAC Clear Brow Gel. You want to set them for sure if you're doing everyday makeup because again, you want them to last all day long. Now I'm going to highlight my brow bone with MAC Vanilla and a 228 brush, but I'm not going to highlight the inner corner of my eye, and this is a step you could definitely skip if you don't care about a brow bone highlight. Then I'm going to use Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray and just douse my face. This is important because it will help your makeup last all day long. Then I'm going to use the Kylie Cosmetics Lip Liner in KoKo. Her lip liners are just amazing. They're one of my favorite lip liners that I've ever used. Not a huge fan of the liquid lipsticks, but she sells them separately now, so you can just get the eyeliner, or sorry, the lip liner. I'm going to line the outside of my lips and then bring it all the way in so that if my lipstick wears off, I don't have a line of lip liner that's like, oh, I lined my lips. And then I'm just going to cover everything with MAC's Cream Cup, just a super pale pink, and just put that all over my lips. So this is what it looks like if you used a lipstick and a lip liner. You could also skip the lip liner if you don't care about that. But then I also went through with a gloss if you're not a lipstick person. This is Sugar Sugar by Marc Jacobs. So just going to put that all over my lips. This is a really nice lip gloss, but if you don't want to spend the money that a Marc Jacobs one is, you can pretty much use any pale pink lip gloss and it'll really give you the same effect. I know my sister wouldn't wear lipstick, so that's why I went with a lip gloss as well for her to see this option. So this is what it looks like with a lip gloss, and here is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed. For watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you try it out, let me know. And if you have any requests for looks you want to see, let me know in the comments down below. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye! Tyrone's too busy eating to be in the video today. Bye, Tyrone. Okay, bye. Thank you.